So the other day, I had a close friend of mine, actually one of my best friends, approach me, and he knows that I've been day trading for a while. Actually, I've been trading for about 12 years now. And he said, I know doing what you do is risky, but what if I just copied you? And what he described was quite reminiscent, if not exactly like copy trading. And unfortunately, it just doesn't really work. But I'll go over that in today's video. Yeah, my name is Sam, and know, copy trading does sometimes sound like a shortcut, but it's actually one of the biggest traps in trading. And unfortunately, it never works, or at least long term, it doesn't work. Okay, and one of the main reasons, I'm going to go over three of them. The first one is that both of your risk tolerances are never going to be exactly the same. So let's say that someone wins, most of their trades, more than 50% of them. So if you have a high risk reward ratio, that's good. I'm not going to go too far into depth with that, okay? But eventually you'll say, all right, if you're always making more money, then you can be able to risk more money to be able to make more, and it just doesn't work that way. So there's no concept of like capital preservation, or maybe you're using a prop firm and there's going to be different drawdown limits and whatnot. And it's quite easy to blow your trading account if those are the kinds of things that you're doing. Lot sizes are going to be different. And I can go on about this, but that's one of the main things. The second thing is that you're not really copying their thinking. You might be copying some of their trades, but their thinking methodologies or their method of entering the trade in the first place is not going to be the same as yours, okay? So you can't be able to copy their understanding. But this is also one of the things where eventually, if you do have, like, let's say, a trading account, or maybe you follow them on a newsletter. By the way, I do have a free newsletter. You can click it out in the description down below, but I put out a free trade idea and my thoughts and methodologies on that, so you can see what I chose to do to enter the trade and what compelled me to make me think that it actually was a good trade, right? But normally you don't see their analysis. You're not going to see the shift in some of the biases that they can sometimes create for the actual trade itself. The context that you're going to have behind the trade entries, you're going to miss all these things, all right? And again, even if you are following some of these traders, and they are making a lot of money, I have actually followed quite a few of them, and I made fucking tens of thousands of dollars doing this. But long term, it doesn't work, and you have to follow not signals, but actual logic, okay? And long term, this is the main reason why people destroy it, and that's because if you don't have skin, you can have skin in the game, but if you're not the one making decisions, you're not going to be growing both as an individual and a day trader, okay? So you're not actually learning about risk. You're not building any form of intuition in trading whatsoever, and you're not going to be studying any of the sessions because all you're trying to follow are numbers. And that could be a good thing, but from a mental growth perspective and understanding psychology and understanding what does succeed or help you succeed long term as a trader, you're not really going to be catching onto it. And you want to be able to build a playbook over time and study why some of these trades work. By the way, if you're just starting out and you're trying to learn day trading, and having a small account is one of the biggest deficiencies behind this, because you have to grow the account and your understanding, and it's not going to be able to supplement your income in any immediate time frame. The only rare exception I found so far, please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the only one that I found, is if you gamble, which I don't fucking recommend, or if you do prop firm challenges. But I don't recommend doing that either until you have a few things set up in there. If you are interested in learning how to pass prop firm challenges, I actually passed 2 of them. My first one I passed within 10 days, my first time around, by the way. And I will help you in my newsletter, show you how you can pass some of your prop firm challenges, and more importantly, be able to get a payout on your journey learning to become a better day trader, right? But if you can't really trade small, you're not going to be able to trade big either, right? So some of the small accounts, you're going to show a lot of real habits, and the market's going to expose these problems later on. So the real truth behind all of it is that copying is going to feel like a shortcut, and you're not going to be able to get the kind of income that you're looking for, especially if you're first starting out, whether you copy people or not, okay? But learn your own setups. It's really not going to take you as long as you might think. I'm sure a couple of years might seem like a long time. You might even be able to get there within a year, but do you want to do that, or do you want to work for 40 years in some soul grinding job and not really be able to have a whole lot of an enjoyable life to show for it, right? So I hope this helped. Go ahead and check out the newsletter. It's free. And I put a breakdown, and actually I've had a few people who did follow the trade, and they are intraday, so if you want to catch on to them, you can. And they actually made profit, and that really makes me feel good as a person and a trader and a content creator, knowing that I help some people out. If you need help, just let me know. I want to be able to help you out, and I'll catch you guys later.